We begin tonight with breaking news. Highway 421 at 2200 block in Madison County is blocked right now due to a fatal accident.
Now, the only information that we know at this time is that it was indeed a head-on collision. We do have a crew on the scene, and we're going to bring you more information as that becomes available. But now to another developing story. As you all know, it's already been an interesting season for Solid Blue fans, from a new coach, some big losses at first, and then finally a string of wins, then the devastating loss of a star player. But nothing could prepare fans for the storm that was brewing outside the Georgia Dome tonight.
That's right. The Cats were supposed to play right after Alabama and Mississippi State, a game that went into overtime and just ended a few minutes ago. But then before that even happened, severe weather with high winds. Reportedly, we actually saw that tear holes in the roof of the Georgia Dome, which brought the SEC tournament to a complete halt. Action News 36's Ken Spencer was in the Georgia Dome at the time those high winds and storm hit. He is live on the phone to tell us what happened down there. Ken, what's going on, man?
Chris, it was actually a very scary situation around 9:40 Eastern time. A severe storm came through, various reports on whether it was a tornado or just a very severe thunderstorm. It definitely rocked the Georgia Dome, to say the least. I was actually up in one of the media towers watching the Alabama Mississippi State game. A large big screen in the arena started to shake. In fact, the scoreboard that hangs over top of the lightly, but it almost looks like a battlefield, a war zone out there, just debris everywhere.
Well, Kent, you, Jacob, and Jason, stay in the dome, stay safe, and we'll check back in if we need to. And once again, the good news is no one's seriously hurt, and maybe the Cats game starts, maybe it doesn't, but most importantly, it doesn't appear that there's any serious injuries. Obviously, a lot of damage outside the dome as well.
Probably at this point, they may be in the safest place for everyone to stay inside the dome. I'm sure that's probably one of the things they're trying to take into consideration, whether it's safer for people to stay there or to move them somewhere else, because there are other storms. John James is back there watching that are moving in that direction, so they do have some things to be concerned about there besides basketball.
Yeah, and David Zimmerman is out tonight. He thought at this point would be a very celebratory time, but Dave, you're out there with the UK fans who've been waiting for this game to start. What's the mood like where you are, Dave?
Well, guys, as you know, anytime you come to a bar like WTVQ, there's big screens everywhere, 4 or 5 of them. So people here who have friends down in Atlanta, we have friends down in Atlanta, very concerned for what's happening down there as they watch these giant booms shake back and forth over and over again on these big screens. The word that we've got from just watching the telecast is that they are going to tip the Wildcat game. So folks here at WTVQ, and I'm sure a lot of fans around Lexington, are very anxious to get this game going to see how it's going to be played. We talked with Cat fans a little bit ago. Here's what they had to say. From a packed house in BW3's predictions for tonight's big game.
We are going to win by...
To tip this one off. Again, though, it's not going to tip until well after 11:30 p.m., and it'll go early into Saturday morning. Folks here hoping for a Cat win. We're live in Lexington. David Zimmerman, Action News 36.
Thank you, Dave. We asked you earlier what you, the Action News 36 viewers, thought about the Cats and their chances in this SEC tournament. We asked you, how far do you think they'll be able to go?
And so far, 30% of you say they could be the SEC champs. Now, 17% of you say that they're going to lose in the final round, and then 37% say they will win 1 or 2, and then 14% believe that they will lose in the first round.
We're going to continue our focus on Catlanta, that is for sure. Mother Nature certainly knows how to pick her spots, and let's hope they do tip off and keep everybody in the dome, because round number 2 moving through right now, and you often see this in severe weather and tornadic situations where a supercell will feed off a previous cell that moved through, and these are moves stand beyond in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, John. In other news tonight, a Madison County man who police say was killed by his wife was laid to rest today. And tonight, his family is speaking out about what happened to Billy Buttry.
Police say the shooting happened after he got in a fight with his son, but the victim's family says you have not heard the whole story. Action News 36's Kelly Wilson joins us live in the studio with an Action News 36 Crime Tracker investigation.
Billy Buttry's family talked to Action News 36 about what they call a very rocky relationship between Billy and his wife, Jeannie. They say Jeannie Buttry was so violent toward her husband that they aren't surprised about what happened to him Sunday night.
He was a good guy.
Billy Buttry's family says Billy and his wife had a history of marital problems. Problems they say had been going on for most of the 24 years they were married.
He should have got rid of her a long time ago.
And I spoke to Jeannie Buttry over the phone. She says she's been advised not to talk to the media, but she did say she believes when the truth comes to light, she will be proven innocent. In the studio, Kelly Wilson, Action News 36.
Well, it's official. Lexington's consent decree with the Environmental Protection Agency was filed in U.S. District Court today. It'll be another 30 days before the public comment period will begin. That comes after an abbreviated version of the consent decree is published sometime next week. Now, the $250 to $350 million settlement is supposed to fix the much-needed sanitary and storm sewer problems that have caused raw sewage to overflow in yards and streams in our city. Now, the city is required to eliminate all recurring sewer overflows within 11 to 13 years.
An accused murderer is back in Lexington. Marlo Valentine was brought back to Kentucky from Wisconsin today. He was booked at the Fayette County Detention Center around 1:30 this afternoon. In November, a judge let Valentine leave jail for a doctor's appointment. His girlfriend picked him up for that appointment, and the two never returned. They were caught a few days later near Milwaukee. We will be right back.